All right, people, welcome. We are live on YouTube, and welcome to the NXT Deadline PLE post show. The last NXT PLE of the year, and certainly not the last one, or the last PLE of the year, but just the last NXT one. But welcome to the show, people. I am Drew, and joining me, like he always does on these NXT shows, is
Evil Dose or Dose Evil. Just depends which side of the mirror you're on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And how are you, Jeff? How you been?
Oh, I've been okay. You know me, I always have 10 to 12 projects going in the air. None are particularly productive, but, you know, they're all moving. There's things always moving.
Anything new going on? Anything gearing up for the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff new going on, but a couple things that I definitely can't talk about that hopefully will be apparent in the coming weeks or months. But yeah, no, just man, I crank out the shows. I try to book the shows. I have two wrestlers. Yes, for the Gospel of Thomas, but Thomas is unavailable again, Mr. Grumpy. So now I've got to find a co-host. But it's like PJ may crawl out of retirement to come back to the Book of Black, though he's going to Vietnam for a week. I haven't gotten around to asking him for what yet. And I've got a couple of other feelers out. Quan might be able to do the cover the 15th, but he'll know by Monday or Tuesday when he gets home, because he's really been revving up his indie bookings, especially tag teaming with Gabe Sky. Mm-hmm. I got a couple other inquiries out, and who knows, maybe I'll end up with 4 people saying yes to guest hosting for only 2 guests, and it won't be that way. Anyway, that's some of what I've been dealing with is logistics and trying to be patient and some other stuff as well.
And you're certainly the busiest man in podcasting.
I guess not. I mean, not really. You may really be able to say that coming soon. And I think if you take all of my podcasts together, there's like an aggregate listenership of 14 people. So
you're like the Pedro Pascal podcasting, except you're sexier.
I don't know. He was pretty charming in The Materialist. So
haven't seen that. Haven't seen Eddington. I heard mixed things about that.
I saw that.
Oh, well, I can already. I have a feeling, but what'd you think about it?
Well, I've heard people say that you love it or you hate it, and then there's nothing in between. Well, ding, ding, ding. I'm the one that's in between. There were parts of it that I liked, and there were parts of it that I really liked, but then it sort of got absurd, and then it got absurder, and it continued to get absurd. I mean, I sort of get the message, but the message is almost like abandon all hope. You're all doomed kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But so it's not. I don't know. It's very much a dark humor movie, but there's also not a lot, but when there is gore and violence, it's very graphic, which I think that the theme of the movie would appeal to people my age to my parents' age, but I think that people my age to my parents' age wouldn't appreciate people getting shot in the head and things like that. So mm-hmm. I don't think there was really. They knew who their audience was, because it's not really a young person's movie. Meanwhile, Materialist was fine. I mean, you could happily go your entire life without watching it, but it doesn't hurt to watch it either. It's just by the time you realize that Dakota Johnson still can't act, mm-hmm. It's 3/4 into the movie, and you thought that she was actually acting this time. Dakota Johnson, of course, of the fame of the only woman who could make a bondage sex movie boring. So.
Yeah. Like I want to watch it. Eddington. It's like one of those things of it's morbid curiosity. There's still a lot of movies I haven't watched yet that I want to watch before the end of the year, and obviously if I don't watch them, then I just won't watch them. But Eddington's right up there. But yeah, that's kind of what I heard, is that the big theme of it is obviously COVID, and I think for a lot of people that's kind of what is making them either divisive or they hate it. It's
I don't think that was the big theme. I think that was the plot accelerant. I mean, it's definitely set during COVID. I mean, I just that was the mood, but I don't know. But I will give a surprisingly positive review today. I watched Nobody 2. I remember watching Nobody, and I think that I liked it, but I don't remember a thing about it. Mm-hmm. Nobody 2, it's not a smart movie. It's not a movie that makes any sense, but it's a fun movie. It's sort of like if Die Hard, John Wick, and Home Alone sort of came together. So it's fun. It's a fun movie, and some good action and some wacky hijinks. It's not much of a plot.
I saw that. I liked the first Nobody. I really liked it a lot. The second one I thought was fun. I didn't like it. I didn't like it as much as the first one. But yeah, I like both movies. I like Bob Odenkirk. I mean, yeah, you're the one that got me into Better Call Saul.
I am. Good for me.
Yeah, it's weird because we both are on two different sides of the spectrum when it comes to movies, but you surprisingly got me into a lot of shows. You got me into Better Call Saul. You got me into Atlanta, which is weird, because it's like Atlanta's about three, young black men, and it's like, where did I get this show recommendation from? Oh, my Jewish friend Jeff. Like, it's just kind of funny. But no,
I'm a man of all the people.
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, I am the Owen Hart of the Boumaye Fight Club.
Got that right. But no, just like, yeah, you've got me in some pretty good shows, and I thank you for that, because I fucking love the shit out of Atlanta. And I Better Call Saul, dare I say, I think it's better than Breaking Bad, in my opinion.
I don't even want to put that kind of pressure on a show, but I think that as far as a prequel being done after a prime show and perfectly melding into each other, I don't know that can ever be repeated. The only thing that even comes close is Caprica to Battlestar Galactica, and not everyone likes Battlestar Galactica, and even fewer people like Caprica. So
right, but it's good that we're talking about TV shows. We haven't done that in a while since our Patreon days, but let's talk about some wrestling. Okay. Like I mentioned, tonight was NXT Deadline, which was here in San Antonio, my hometown. Obviously, I didn't go. I would have wanted to go, but then we couldn't do the show. And also, the tickets were expensive as shit. So, that's another common...
TKO'd you.
Yeah, and Raw is going to be here in March, which, again, TKO. But NXT Deadline... let's start at it. The first match was for the NXT Championship. It was FEMI versus Ricky Saints, with the winner, or there's a stipulation announced on SmackDown the previous night, last night, which was the winner of this match will face the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night's Main Event, which is next Saturday. So yeah, FEMI, Ricky Saints. I gotta say, I really did like this match. I thought it was better than their last match. The San Antonio crowd, I'm not just saying this because, I live here, but they really made this show. Like, they were really hyped up. And, the thing I'll say about my city is that we don't get a lot here. I mean, obviously we have the Spurs, but, like, as far as entertainment goes, we don't really get too much entertainment. And when we do, we're appreciative as hell for it. And, you could tell with the crowd, they were reacting to a lot of things. They weren't just sitting on their hands, like San Diego was for War Games. But granted, they're in a outdoor arena, but still. But yeah, this was a really good match, really good back and forth action. And I'll be honest, like I was kind of predicting it was gonna go one way, and then it went the other, and I was still pleasantly surprised. With obviously, Oba winning the title back, which to me I think was the right decision. Because I think with Oba, he still has unfinished business, in NXT. Ricky, I think, is going to the main roster. There's also talk of him maybe being involved in that angle that happened at Survivor Series, which not sure how I feel about it, but, I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't love it. I'm just kind of like in between. But
Well, why don't you say what the angle is?
okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, Survivor Series War Games, or if you don't know, if you don't care, or whatever. But Survivor Series War Games, towards the end of the match, a masked figure interfered in the match, which was kind of a stupid angle, and curb stomped Punk, which ended with Braun Breaker pinning Punk, and that's how.
That's Austin Theory.
They're saying it's Austin Theory, which the build. Yeah, I guess build.
It is Austin Theory.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm. It's more than likely going to be Austin Theory because it wouldn't make sense for it to be Ricky Starks, mainly because Ricky Starks isn't that built. So it's going to be
Saints.
Starks, Saints, tomato. Yeah, it's more than likely going to be Austin Theory. I wouldn't hate it if it was maybe a Ricky Starks or an Ethan Page, but it's going to be Austin Theory just based off the build of whoever that.
I would absolutely hate it. Mostly because I don't watch the main roster. I didn't watch Survivor Series, so I don't know any of that stuff. So I would hate it because Ethan Page is fantastic and he's in the running for Wrestler of the Year, or at least Male Wrestler of the Year. I don't care if it's Ricky Saints because I find him to be completely underwhelming. And so I'm thrilled that he lost because Oba is a star, and to me, Ricky Saints is very mid, and he's undersized and overhyped, and really always has been. I know he wants, and he loves, and yeah, everybody does. I mean, I hear from 120 wrestlers on X a day who love it and will do anything for this business. Okay, terrific. Anyway, yeah, I actually thought. I agree that I think this match was better than their first. I thought the first half of the match, to be frank, was pretty damn boring. But once it got going, it was good. And Oba winning is the right thing. It's like I said, that guy is a star. He will be a star for at least a decade if he can stay healthy. Possibly longer. Ricky Saints, he's a star to like 32% of the people in the IWC, but right. To everyone else, he just looks like a small little guy. It's funny, my wife, who's Latina and doesn't really watch a lot of wrestling, she walked by and she goes, that man is too big, the black guy. And so obviously she didn't think that Ricky was black. So
I mean, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, she thought he was Kinsman. She thought he was Latino. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Oba won. Great moment. Very excited about it. Oba looks fantastic. Ricky, he's looking down there shaking hands. So, if they want to elevate Ricky to the main roster, whatever, who cares? It's like it doesn't change anything. But if Fraxium and DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and folks like that are any indicia, WWE fans don't pay to see undersized people. They pay to see people who are giants, even from the top rows, especially when they're paying like $800 from the top rows to see it, unless somebody's already established like a legend. Unlike what Nick Khan, Rey Mysterio was not nothing before he got to WWF. He was a star before even CM.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So anyway, enough about that. But it was a good match, fun match. Oba won. A little bit of a surprise, even though I picked him. Because my picks are no better than anything else. And so thrilled. I'm a big Oba Femi guy. I
also think like midway during, because I picked Ricky on Wednesday, but when I was watching the match, I'm like, Oba versus Cody would look better on television in front of a bigger crowd, and also Oba looks like a star, like this motherfucker, and you and me and RJ when we did, I think, Halloween Havoc, I believe, was it Halloween Havoc, or I think it might have been Halloween Havoc.
Oh, but we had three. We've had 3 NXT PLEs in a short amount of time, but I think it was Halloween Havoc.
Where I put up a reel on social media where the discussion was Oba Femi, and it's like, this is a dude you can't fuck up on. Like, this is a guy you need to make it look like $1 million, not even $1 million bucks, $1 billion bucks. Like, this guy is the future. He's money, so you can't mess up on him. So like him and Cody on a big stage like Saturday Night's Main Event, and also with the whole Cena thing. Like I said on Twitter, I'm more hyped about seeing Oba wrestle Cody than Cena's last match. To be honest,
I don't care about Cena's last match.
No, I don't.
And this whole last year of Cena has been so weird and wacky, and everyone knows the reasons why and what happened, and everyone's talking. I mean, but about 3 or 4 months ago, I'm just like, I don't care who his last match is with. At this point, the only thing that would be historic is if his last match was against Tanahashi and it was his last match too. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it might in 10 years when they have Gunther retire 10 more people, and then, during his Hall of Fame ceremony, talk about how he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion and he held the World's Heavyweight Champion and the Undisputed Championship, twice each, and Tag Team Champion 4 times, and he also retired legends including Goldberg, the greatest of all time, John Cena, the Legend Killer was killed, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, and then Sheamus. Name all the guys that are over 44. CM Punk. I mean, there's like a never-ending list of people he could retire in the next 10 years.
Right, and I see Kyle in the YouTube chat. What's up, Kyle? Yeah, the Cena thing has been a little underwhelming, and I don't know if you saw the interview he just did where he was going for like the retirement tour was supposed to be longer. I think it was supposed to be like over 100 something dates or 200 something dates, but WWE had said, "Oh, we only need you for this many dates," which I think was like 36, which that really kind of tells a story about TKO is that it's lazy writing, even for John Cena's, retirement tour, which should have been a big deal because it's fucking John Cena. But they wanted to do the bare minimum, because I was thinking like with his tour, I was thinking like it was a John Cena thing of like, oh, he's busy, he's in Hollywood, so he can't appear as much. But it's like, no, like the original idea was, it was supposed to be longer. But WWE decided to just go for shorter. For what reason? I don't fucking know why. I mean, we kind of know why, but where was I at? But yeah, Oba winning is the right decision.
A tag team match on the next Saturday Night's Main Event or something like that.
Well, I was gonna say I think Drew might interfere and cost Cody the match.
That'd be cool too. I'm all for that.
He could like cause a distraction where Cody's like, "Arr!" and then Oba beats him with his move. So. That makes sense. Both guys don't look like complete shit. But anyhow, next next is the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match for the winner to face the NXT Women's Champion at New Year's Evil. You had Kendall Gray, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and Jordan Grace. This was my match of the night. I really, really like this match. All the women in this match were amazing. I don't really recall any botches unless I missed something. And everyone in this match looked good. Jordan looked good. Kalani even looked good. I don't want to say even because she always looks good. But Soul... Soul's always fun to watch. Lola, I'm kind of like off the Lola train, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's like, been there, done that. They tried to make her a top thing, but I don't think that's going to work out, in my opinion. But she's still over. People like her, but it's one of those things where, like, I can take her or leave her. Kendall Gray, who won the match, which I don't think anyone saw that coming. I think everyone was kind of Soul or Jordan. I think I picked Soul. I picked Soul. Right? No, I think you did. Yeah.
I know I did.
No. Well, no. I think I remember hearing about you picking Kendall to win, like on Twitter or something. I picked Soul to win on Wednesday, and Justin picked Jordan. But I was kind of like, I like Kendall. I think Kendall's pretty good. She impresses me. She has a nice look to her. She can work, and she won. She won this match, and you picked her, but I don't really recall a lot of people picking her. And I was pleasantly surprised. The whole point of NXT is to obviously build to the future, and Jordan's gonna have her chance. that I think that spot's reserved for her at like Takeover. Soul, she's gonna have something going on with what's her name, Zarya, which I think Zarya is gonna turn on her on Tuesday. Um, Everybody else, Lola, been there, done that. Soul, not Soul. Kalani, been there, done that. So you have something interesting here with Kendall at a New Year's Evil. So I'm happy for Kendall. Um, I thought it was interesting before the match when they were showing like a vignette about her life, like a package about her life, where she's like, "Yeah, I did amateur wrestling, and I had to grow up being tough and blah blah blah." I'm like, that's interesting. They're showing a package about her and only her before this match. But I guess that was kind of a spoiler. But yeah, fun match. I really liked it. It's my match of the night. What'd you think?
Well, I'm not going to give matches of the night until the end of the night, or until the end of our show. But yeah, I thought the match was great. I did not pick anyone on Twitter. I actually made my picks on the Alt Jake in the Spacer on their YouTube show. So I did it live on the air, before any of the matches started. I went 4 for 5, by the way. I got the men's wrong.
Nice.
I think Lola is a great heel. I think as a face, when she speaks English, she sounds whiny. Mm-hmm. She probably can't help that because of her accent. I think that she's going to be the female star of AAA for the next dozen years. Okay. So she'll be fine. I think that's mostly where she's going to be. And she's sort of, they can plug her into whatever. And if she's a heel, I could easily see her, being, WWE or NXT Women's Champion or even TNA. But as a face, she just, it doesn't sound right. I feel that Jordan, Kalani, and they like you said, been there, done that. They both keep getting title shots. Kalani's won the North American title, I think, twice, and she had the TNA title. So she's sort of been, Jordan Grace keeps getting title shot after title shot and keeps losing it. Nobody wants to see her lose again. And the people who get this title shot, I mean, they're probably going to be doing it on a Tuesday night in January, so it's probably going to be a loss anyway. So, Kendall is already the Evolve Women's Champion, which, by the way, I watch Evolve, so, I see Chocolate is in the chat there. So we have seen how good she is, but how good she's gotten. And she's totally, first of all, Ren Sinclair helps everyone be more relaxed and have more fun. Mm-hmm. But Kendall Gray always had the skills. She was in NXT before Evolve existed, but she said she found her voice, and it's 100% correct. She found her voice. She can now talk. She doesn't just say the same thing every time. But her real life story is rather impressive. I'm glad they did. So, but she's really good. Even Dave Meltzer's saying how good she is, and not that I respect anything from him, but that's really unusual for him to say anything good about WWE. So, I just figured the rocket ship would be put on her. Get the Evolve title off of her at some point and give it to somebody is in developmental. I wouldn't be opposed to Callie Armstrong getting another shot. Everyone knows I'm a big Chantel Monroe fan. Nikita Lyons has been killing it down there, and I think she's about to get 2 cronies, so that would make sense. And they but Zeta Steele got away, which I think was a big, could be a big loss for them, or a big gain for somebody else. Anyway, this match was great, and Soul, she's got like you said, she's got the story with the bum knee and with Zarya and all of that good stuff. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Soul Ruka who won. I really wouldn't have been surprised by anyone but Soul or Kalani. They're easy choices, but, whatever. Whether it was just a lucky guess or otherwise, this one came out be prophetic, I guess, against the grain, just like Oba was against the grain. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. All the women worked really hard. The match was fun. They worked really well together. Not any interference. Of course, Fatal Influence came out at the end to sort of say, you think you're ready for this, young one? I still think Charlie Dempsey is somehow going to screw things up for them, but I don't know. I think they're starting to come around to maybe he can be like reluctantly charming. Anyway, that's not particularly important. But yeah, I thought this was a terrific match. Much more, and I really enjoyed the Iron Survivor match. And out of innovations in wrestling over the last, 10 or 15 years, the Iron Survivor to me is a really fun match. And I actually do like the casino battle royal idea. I just don't like AEW. But if there's anything that I'm going to like, it might be a battle royal. But I haven't watched AEW, and it's got to be 2 years, probably more at this point. So I can't speak. But I do like the concept of 5 people coming out at a time, or like more, and like the tag team battle royal. So I do like that, but most innovations in wrestling are sort of lame, and then you go back to things that were even lamer, like four corners matches and strap matches and stuff. So, but yeah, this was a lot of fun, a lot of color, a lot of good moves, just good performance all around.
I really do like it, and now to jump ahead a little bit, I preferred the Iron Survivor matches tonight to War Games because War Games should be simple, but they try to overbook it and overcomplicate it. Whereas, you look at Iron Survivor matches, they just kind of stick to the formula of like the A, B, C, and D. Like it's that simple. We don't try to get all crazy. There's a timer, and you have to make sure you're the guy or the girl before it hits 25 minutes. It keeps everybody on their toes, and it makes it more exciting, for people to watch at home or in the building. And it's just that simple, and I love it. They tried to do it with the scramble challenge back in the day, but that was a little bit convoluted. But with this, it keeps everybody on their toes. It's fun. Like NXT, when NXT was doing War Games, it was fun, and then when it got to the main roster, it just got a little silly. But yeah, with these Iron Survivor challenges these Iron Survivor challenge matches are fun. I thoroughly look forward to them every year. Just like tonight.
I like War Games when there's the right story that it deserves to be a 5-on-5. When it's just thrown together like it was this year. I mean, I wasn't going to watch it anyway because I'm taking a principled stance that I'm not paying $30 a month to watch wrestling. There's nothing else on ESPN Plus that I want to watch. So I'm not paying $30 to watch wrestling. When they told me if I have ESPN, I would have access to it at no additional cost, and I have ESPN 3 different ways. Through my Disney bundle, through my regular cable, and I've got the ESPN app. So screw them. I'm not the product hasn't been good enough, and I don't see it getting any better. But aside from that, I like it also in NXT because they've always done it so that there's a reason. There's a reason why those 4 guys are fighting those 4 guys, or those 5 guys are fighting those 5 guys. I think it's too long. I don't like that the match doesn't start until everyone's in the ring, but there's too long. But like if they took it down from, they made the first entrance was 5 minutes, and then after that it was 3, or went from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it just was quicker. But of course they only want to put 4 or 5 matches on PLEs now, so they're definitely not going to make them shorter. So, I don't foresee good things. But I didn't even really love traditional Survivor Series matches, though. The first 2 years they made sense because all 4 guys had problems with each other or were teammates, and then they just started throwing people together again. So there was 8-man tag matches, which are dumb. I mean, they're usually throwaway matches. So I guess I'd rather have War Games than Survivor Series. Maybe I'm in the minority that way, but I don't love either. Anyway, I didn't watch it, but I like these. These are 25 minutes, and there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on in the penalty boxes. You got the outside ref. You have the inside ref. It's just fun. There's just all sorts of hootenanny and shenanigans going on.
Hootenanny. Yeah, I mean, Shawn Michaels is, clearly Booker of the Year. Like, he knows how to make these shows work and make them fun. But let's move on. Next, as you have for the NXT North American Championship, Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana. I didn't really care about this match. And I love Ethan Page. Like, you know how I feel about Ethan Page. I know how you feel about Ethan Page. I wasn't crazy about this match. Like, Ethan Page, they could have easily just plugged and played him into the Iron Survivor Challenge match. But for whatever reason, I mean, yeah, he's doing this stuff with AAA. I know, I get it, but it's like, I don't know. You couldn't find anything better for him to do. But that's just me. I mean, again, granted, the crowd seemed to be into it, especially like towards the end. But yeah, just I'm usually not the kind of guy who like stomps his hand on the table and goes, comedy and wrestling. Like I usually don't make a big deal about it. In this case, like the iguana stuff, it's like, okay, good for him. He's getting a paycheck. He's getting noticed. Can't really fault him for that, but I don't really care about it. I think it's dumb, and it's kind of well past its expiration date, in my opinion. Just speaking for myself, but Ethan won as he should have. It was a pretty short match, but what'd you think?
I agree with pretty much everything you said. Yes, they could have had someone different in this match with Ethan. For a title that's pretty important, and they put it in with a guy who's not particularly important. Yeah, they're there to sell puppets. I get it. I mean, Mr. Iguana is in the same vein as an Orange Cassidy or a Danhausen, and I feel the same with them. I liked Orange Cassidy the first few times I saw him when he was used sparingly, and then I got sick of him. I like Danhausen, but he's always used sparingly. But when they try to actually make him a real wrestler, I mean, it's fun once in a while because it surprises you, but if it's all the time, not interesting. Mr. Gua's not that good a wrestler. It's not that interesting. If things are done on the Lucha card, I mean, you have to let there be a little bit more silliness. Lufisto told me this. She told me that Conan told her years ago, it's lucha, it doesn't matter, it's silly. And so I always tell myself that. But this was an NXT show, so I thought it was largely a throwaway match. But I think it was as good as it could have been. And I think Ethan Page has a pretty good case to be Wrestler of the Year. I mean, him and Trick Williams, I think, are like neck and neck as male Wrestler of the Year. And I don't mean for NXT, or I mean period. I mean, granted, like I said, I haven't watched the main roster. I haven't watched Raw more than 5 times since the Netflix debut, and I'm including the Netflix debut in one of those 5. I haven't watched SmackDown, I don't know, it's got to be 3 months. And, I've seen, out of the Saturday night's main event, I definitely missed at least one. I saw the one recently before title matches, and I liked it, but I skipped the one before it, and the one before that I thought stunk. I mean, I thought was terrible. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was the right guy won. I don't think anyone picked Mr. Iguana. I would have liked to have seen something else, someone else, but it wasn't long. And to you, what you were saying about San Antonio earlier, I mean, obviously you're from there, so I can't take any issue with what you said about you don't get a lot, and so the crowd was hungry for it and had a lot of energy, but they were also wrestling fans. They knew who everybody was.
Right.
It's not just that they don't get a lot. It's like wrestling fans went to, not just wrestling fans, NXT fans who were familiar with AAA and familiar with WWE, and probably familiar with a lot more as well. So, I mean, they weren't just hungry for it; they were actually hungry for the product that they were to see. So that helped a lot. And being in the in the watch along on All Jake's channel with AEW Awful and George Captor and whoever was in the chat, that was probably made it feel a lot easier than it would have if I was just watching it at home. So, but yeah, I mean, I said I wasn't going to say my match of the night. I won't. But my least favorite match of the night, shocker, this one.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit all. You kind of. I mean, I think we both just said the same thing. Yeah, Ethan Page. I mean, what else can we say? The guy, even a match this silly, he somehow made it work. Even though you and me both didn't like it, he still found a way to make it work and at least make it somewhat enjoyable in its own way. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely in my top 5 of best male wrestlers of the year. And yeah, I mean the Mr. Iguana thing, like he's a comedy guy at the end of the day, and then there's no shame in that. Because, you can still make money being a comedy gimmick. I mean, R-Truth has done it for years. Santino thrived off of it. So, again, there's no shame in it, but again, this literally could have been anyone else that was better fit for it. But, Ethan he's Mr. AAA at the moment, but which good for him. Good for him in Chelsea. But next is we have a singles match. We have Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley on Wednesday pretty much said, "I'm going to inflict all my pain on you." Yada yada yada. After Izzy turned on her a few weeks ago at a Gold Rush in New York. Yeah, this is a fine match. Like, you can't really say too much about it. It was okay. Wasn't terrible. Again, people love the shit out of Tatum. You know, Tatum's a Texas girl. And as expected, you know, Izzy won, which makes sense for Izzy to win because, you know, they clearly want to push her because she has a look. And Tatum is one of the... I love Tatum. Like, I think Tatum is someone that can easily be, like, a little bit higher on the card, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my own bias, but they gave her that title, and then it meant nothing. It lasted, like, I think less than a month. And only to like further a storyline, which again isn't unheard of in wrestling. But I don't know. I think her title win should have meant more, but it really didn't. So she lost, which I'm assuming she's gonna get a win back. You know, the next time they win or next time they wrestle. But anywho, what'd you think?
Maybe. I don't know if she's going to get a win back or not. I mean, you'd think she would, but I don't know how. They're outnumbered, and she can't possibly trust anyone again. So, I mean, unless they're going to bring her husband back, Big Body Javi, I don't know where she gets the support of why she would accept any. In any event,
Lyra?
I thought this match was very good. I thought it was better. Oh, yeah, maybe Lyra. I thought it was better than you thought. I thought it felt like... I like the psychology and like the grudge aspect to it. It did feel like they hated each other, but
Yeah, me too.
the Tatum's saves a tenth of. The only issue I had with the match is when they pulled out the two dolls. I thought that was great, but I wanted Tatum to stick them up Sean Spears and Nico's asses, like to actually do it or shove them down their throats, something. And yeah, I think that would have been fun. And then she walks into the big boot from Izzy. There was no outside interference. I was talking myself into maybe Anna Jay showing up and joining the culling or someone joining the culling. But it was probably better this way. Anyway, I thought it was a really good match, but I mean, I don't think it was particularly eventful. I mean, I like that Tatum got the belt, and I think people liked her. I don't really have a problem with the short reign. I mean, honestly, I think the best thing for Tatum is the worst thing for someone else, which is that they need to get rid of Nikki Cross and just put Tatum as the Sister Abigail of the Wyatts.
Wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, what an improvement! And then she gets a pay raise, and they can do that thing, and they're working in AAA as well, which is really where they seem to make more sense, even though I guess apparently they're still the SmackDown champions. I mean, I don't understand why they don't go to Raw and take those champions. They should actually make them the tag team champions of Raw, SmackDown, and AAA, and maybe even threaten trying to go to NXT and do it as well. But at least those three brands, and maybe, I don't know, but they should be the belt collectors of tag team titles under the WWE purview. And I don't think TNA would complain. I know AAA wouldn't complain. Not that it matters. They're a 49% local ownership. But enough about this match. I think we both liked it. I liked it more than you did, but I'm probably more invested in the two characters than you are.
Well, no. I'm not saying I'm not. I love Tatum. Izzy starting to warm up to a little bit, but I'm just saying I liked it. I didn't love it, but you liked it slightly a little bit more than me. But no, I did like the psychological shit about the match. I liked Tatum coming in and just her face full of tears, her mascara running down, and she's still of like, you're I still want to be your best friend and I love you, but you hurt me and I've been hurt a lot and I don't want to be hurt anymore. So I like that. I like psychology in wrestling, and it's kind of a lost art, that and character development. So but no, the crowd liked it. The crowd loves the shit out of Tatum. The culling, other than Izzy, again, I know what Sean Spears is here for. He's here to put people over, and I get it, but it's like, Can you do it in the back? We don't need to see you
Well,
on
he's got a
television.
faction of one guy, and the one guy is apparently not cleared for physical competition. So, I mean, it's not much of a faction. I mean, it would make sense if he had like three other guys, or three other girls. But they don't need that in the women. The women's division is awesome. So the men's division is the one that's sort of mid.
You notice how, I mean, and again, it's a good thing, obviously, but like you notice how a lot of factions in WWE, the women end up being the breakout star.
Yeah, I mean, it was always supposed to be in factions that someone's going to be a breakout star. I just think that WWE seems to have forgotten how to do factions, except for the bloodline, and they sort of don't. I mean, I don't know. Vince didn't like factions, and it's weird because Triple H is known for like the most famous faction, ever. I mean, I know we like to say the Four Horsemen, and but that's probably because of they're the OG ones. But I mean, come on. After the first couple of iterations, they started watering down those horsemen. You had Jeff Jarrett and Dean Malenko and
Brian
Paul
Pillman.
Roma and shit like that in there. I mean, it was,
Well, no, I'm saying
well,
like
yeah.
lately a lot of factions like, and again, I'm happy this is the case. Like, OTM, Jada became the bigger star. Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley became the bigger star. The current Judgment Day, Liv is the bigger star.
Yeah,
Or I mean,
right.
or Dom. Dom's the big star, but Liv is right there with him. Who else? I mean, Coling. Izzy's becoming the star. Um, so I mean, obviously it's a good thing, but yeah, just like even like I think the president of CW said that the women are kicking the men's asses. Like
They are.
they're much more interesting, and I wholeheartedly agree. You know, Evolution. And me and Justin are gonna do our best and worst of for our year-end awards, but Evolution to me is my favorite PLE of the year, like hands down.
Might be mine also. I mean, I haven't seen a bunch, but I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure there were other PLEs that I liked, but I think Evolution was the only one that I really liked.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so let me ask you something before we get to the main event. What do you think about this Shiloh Hill guy? Like, I really don't understand. I get it. He's supposed to be like a hacker or like a QAnon guy or whatever the fuck, but I'm already annoyed by the gimmick. Like, I just don't get it. Maybe it's not for me, but what do you think about it?
Well, see, I've watched him both seasons on LFG, so I've seen his talent, I've seen his dedication, I've seen his toughness, but I've also seen his maturity. Like some of the guys, they want to throw down and fight, and they stay mad for 3 days. He won't back up, and he'll throw down and fight. But when the coach says it's done, it's done. So you can tell who's been in a real locker room before or a successful program, and he's one of those guys. He's very coachable. He oozes charisma. He sort of looks like Bray Wyatt, but is built more like Randy Orton. D1 football player that went to Stanford, and then he's got this dark weapon, and he has this huge social media presence that he built up, from nothing, just by being sort of weird and spooky and out there and all of that. He's cool on social media, so I'm totally behind the kid. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a star. I think they're going to put the gas behind him. I think he's their male version of Kendall Gray. I think him and Anthony Luke and Jasper Troy and Oba Femi and Trick Williams there, Harlan Lewis, if he can get his head on straight, Braun Breaker, these are the guys they're going to be holding it down for the next 10 years because most of the stars are 40 plus.
Right. I mean, again, maybe I was being too hard, but it's like, again, maybe the gimmick's just not for me. And I know, and you obviously,
You don't have to like things just because I like them.
yeah. I mean, that's never happened before. Well, no, like you obviously follow LFG a lot more than me, because you did a fucking show about it. So again, that just kind of shows how much I know about
With the
guy.
legendary Lufisto.
With the legendary Lufisto. Shout out to Lufisto. Yeah, like you said, that's just him being himself. I know Chocolate is saying the same thing. That's just him being himself. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll grow on me. Like I put it on social media, and I was just, to be honest, I was just being cheeky. where I was just like, I hate it, and pretty much some nobody replied, just getting mad at me for saying I hate it, and Cleric of Chaos. Anyone that knows Cleric of Chaos, like when he replies or posts about anything, he'll just post the most random shit as a picture, because that's Cleric. Like, you know Cleric, I know Cleric. And I forgot his response, but he just posted something along the lines of, like, to each his own, kind of, having my back against whoever that person was. And he just posted a picture of a Christmas tree. And that person replied, "What's the point of posting a picture of a Christmas tree?" And that just made me laugh, because I know Cleric. I know why he does that, but it just made me laugh. We're just like, why a Christmas tree? And so
I think he was trying to say it's the spirit of generosity. It's the spirit of brotherly love and,
I know.
Good spirits.
I know. I mean, I know Cleric, obviously, but it's just like, I just think that's funny for an outsider who doesn't know Cleric to be like, why a Christmas tree?
I mean, it's December. I don't know why it's so mysterious. I mean, obviously, that person was a dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But no.
So
Currently,
you're doing the LA Night dummy. I'm doing the It's Gall.
Yeah.
Dummy. So.
Dummy. Yeah. But I just think that's funny. But
that guy was obviously weak, pale, frail, and ready to fail.
Oh yeah. Currently, Cleric is having fun with him in the Twitter. He said, he said, and I quote, "I kind of want to take this further, but I'm not sure." I'm like, hey, go ahead, push.
Yeah, let him have his fun.
Yeah, it's like what was it? What was it in Infinity War when Hulk is fighting Thanos, and one of his dudes are about to step in, and like Maul just goes, "Let him have his fun."
Yeah, but I hated that scene. I still hate it. It bothers me almost every single day.
Why did it bother you?
Because the Hulk should get his ass completely kicked in 90 seconds.
Well, MCU Hulk is different from comic book Hulk. So
Captain America held his own longer against Thanos. No. I don't. No.
I'm agreeing with you, because, like, in all actuality, if like they actually stuck to comic book Hulk, that'd be cheating, because he would like literally kill everybody.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, just to either make Thanos so strong that he could beat up comic book Hulk or movie Hulk in 90 seconds, so that he could beat everyone else up, more easily, or with the same ease, or make it a fight that makes sense. It just was a bad scene. I'm sorry, bad scene. Right. And it led to all of this badness with the Hulk Buster and Grey Hulk, which nobody likes. Grey Hulk.
Yeah, especially when he was wearing John Draper's cardigan.
Yeah, especially John Draper. He stretched out Draper's cardigan. It's like it's ruined now.
Right. Yeah. Again, I hate using this term mainly, but it's appropriate. They pretty much nerfed Hulk.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but whatever. It sucked.
They watered it down. That's the best way to put it.
Listen, all I can say is every single day I think about that scene and how much I hate it. That's the only thing in the good part of the MCU that I hate. That's not entirely true, because I sort of hated all of Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, or your Iron Man?
Iron Man 2.
Okay. All right.
As in a number, not POO.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but all right. So we're gonna go to the main event. We're at that portion of the show, the men's Iron Survivor Challenge for the NXT Championship, or to determine who's going to face the NXT Champion at New Year's Evil. You have Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne, who were all supposedly picked by John Cena. This was fun. This is still fun. I joked, but like, yeah, this is fun. Both Iron Survivor Challenge matches were really good. The women's I liked more. This I still liked. That I guess that was kind of my only gripe. It's like, why is Dion Lennox in the match? I don't get it. But
I don't really know why anybody was in the match except for Javon Evans.
I mean, Joe Hendry makes sense, because Joe Hendry's still a name and he still gets a reaction. Miles Bourne.
What matches has he won in in NXT to merit getting a title shot? None. I mean, I get he's a name, but I mean, Leon Slater doesn't even work for WWE, and he's mostly a tag team wrestler. Miles Bourne is born as F, and he's a shrimpy little guy.
Yeah, he's not
Actually,
bad.
Dion Lennox is the only one that sort of made sense to me because they're trying to. I mean, the women's match felt like it had more star power than the men's match, but because the match is so much fun, doesn't matter. I mean, and it was well orchestrated. But I mean, if you didn't know what Dion Lennox was in before, when you saw his heel work, he threw a referee into John Evans and then locked him in the box. When Miles Bourne was coming out of the penalty box, he kicked the door into him, and it was like, Dion Lennox. I mean, his heel work is fantastic. It's sensational. His timing and his placement. Those are all the things that make like Chelsea Green and Ethan Page great. So I actually was hoping that he would win. I figured that's why he gave up his tag team belt to say Shaquan. I wonder if that will be the source of some dissension, within Arcel. Be like, okay, you can give me the belt back. And he's like, I ain't giving it back to you, player. They had the Oba and Dion segment, earlier, which seemed like it was foreshadowing. Well,
Right.
now they sort of wasted that.
Right, that's
They
what I
didn't
was
have Oba
thinking.
confront anyone else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, because I know I just said why is he in the match. I mean, you made an interesting point why he was, but like, I was thinking like, okay, they're really focusing a lot on Dion Lennox wanting to face Oba, and then Oba being like, yeah, I'll face you, blah blah blah. And they even brought up last year when Dion Lennox was doing his old gimmick of I still find it funny. His gimmick was that he reads books. Like it's unheard of in wrestling, but yeah, like they were making a point to really bring it up a lot. I'm like, oh, I guess he's gonna win. I mean, I didn't think Kendall Gray was gonna win, but she won. I'm like, all right, well, the whole point of NXT is to build up new stars, and Javon won, which I'm happy Javon won because I like Javon, but like, I was like, oh, maybe they want to give something Javon to do in the meantime until Takeover. Maybe wrestle Ricky. I don't know, but
Well, I feel like I've seen this match, Javon and O, before, and I feel like I feel like Jordan Gracie's had like 4 title shots and lost them all, and now he's involved in AAA. I'm sort of like over it. What I thought was going to happen was that as they've been teasing Javon and Leon as a tag team, and they've sort of had miscommunications, I figured that they would cost each other the match, and they would sort of have a little feud. Anyway, I'm not upset. I mean, Javon is a homegrown star. Obviously, they like him a lot. He's only 22. It seems like they're almost ready to, they're sort of phasing a whole bunch of people into the main roster, or at least getting other rosters exposed to him. I mean, Javon's been on TNA. He's been on AAA. Now he's been on the main roster a couple times. So they're getting people used to seeing them. So, I don't hate it. I just thought that they were going to try to, I know that a lot of people don't like Dark State, and I agree. There's nothing really particularly interesting about it. But if you sort of drape them in gold, or at least success, then that's what makes a faction interesting, is when they have goals and they hit those goals. I mean, the Horsemen usually have titles, or are going after titles. So anyway, but I wasn't disappointed too much. I mean, I like the match. I like Javon. I don't want to sound otherwise. The only person I have no interest in is Miles Bourne. So, but even so, again, this 25-minute match, the whole format works for me.
yeah, they really want to do something with that Miles Bourne kid, and I don't dislike him the way you do. I'm more just like, the dude's kind of bland. Like, that's really about it. Like, the dude's really bland. Outside of that no quarter catch crew, Ren to me is the only one I care about. Tavion also, he's interesting and he at least has a look. Miles,
Tavion's going to find his voice this year.
I love
In 2026, he's going to turn it up.
Yeah, he had a great match with Mike Santana earlier this year on NXT. So the dude has something. He has something going. But yeah, Miles again. They really like to plug and play him in a lot of shit, and I don't get it. I really don't.
I don't
Leon's.
either. I know that they love the gimmick that he's significantly deaf. I know that they really and he's a good looking kid, but he's also 177 pounds.
Right.
And I mean, listen, I know why he can't speak well, but it doesn't change the fact that he can't speak well. And
True.
personality and promos is a whole lot of wrestling. They did this before with the guy who had one leg, and then I think they tried again with the guy that had no legs. I mean, once you get past the disability or the challenge, it's no longer an interesting gimmick. I mean, to steal the guy's prosthetic leg wasn't interesting anymore. It just seems stupid, and it's like, why do you keep going into matches? Everyone's just going to take away your leg. I don't know. I just, it's like maybe if he was built like Warlow, I'd be more invested because then you could overcome it because you're just like 6'5" and 280. And I'm going to valid size this, but or if he could just like make really mean facial expressions and did promos in sign language and then they did subtitles, like when Asuka yelled in Japanese and they did subtitles, or Nakamura did. I think that would be more effective than him trying to cut promos, especially babyface promos. And a couple times they've had to resort to subtitles, which it's just even worse because like why force it anyway? It is mostly his size. I mean, that's most of it, but I don't really get a lot of his personality because his vocal affect is more or less the same no matter what he says. So heel, face, angry, mad, sad, happy. I can't get into the character.
Yeah, I mean he's yeah, I mean I gotta be honest. Like the dude's bland. Who's the dude who's the dude in AEW, the guy that like everybody was like wet over and he did that like weird dance? Who is he?
Daniel Garcia?
He's basically NXT's Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's better looking than Daniel Garcia, but yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, essentially, but it's chocolate killed me. Chocolate goes. He'll grow out of being deaf like Eugene did.
Well, I mean, I do pay Chocolate good money on the side to try to kill you. So.
Ooh, okay. Now I know. Now I gotta keep my guard up.
Am I?
But yeah, that was. Oh, and at the end of the show, the return of Tony D'Angelo, who's not a Don anymore.
Looking like Rusev.
What was that?
Looking like Rusev and putting, I guess he's resurrected because he's putting like the black mark of death, like passing them around, folded back, black construction paper.
Well, I'm like, oh, is this someone debuting that I don't know? And then it was him. I'm like, oh, that's weird, but sure, let's do that at the end of a pay-per-view. But all right, that was an.
Well, the other thing with FEMI has 3 losses to Tony D'Angelo, and it was so weird that they were talking about that Femi's had no challenges. No one's presented a challenge until Ricky Saints beat him, which is not true. I mean, he lost to Trick Williams also, but Tony D, the Don, beat him 3 times in a row.
He did. Very true. All right, Jeff. Highlights, least favorite match of the night.
Women's Iron Survivor favorite match, least favorite match, Paige, Mr. Iguana. Grade. I would have graded higher except for Paige, Mr. Iguana. I mean, I'm basically grading that as an incomplete. So I'm going to go solid B.
Yeah, it's a fair grade. I might just give it the same thing. Yeah, we have the same ones. I didn't like the Mr. Iguana match. Again, just comedy characters should be used sparingly. And you literally could have found anything for Paige to do. That would have been much better. But again, at the moment, he's Mr. AAA. He's Mr. NXT and Mr. AAA. So, and then the women's Iron Survivor Challenge, I ran it and raved about it earlier. I loved it. I thought it was great. And yeah, I'll give it a B. I'll give it a solid B. Makes sense. All right, that is the end of the show, people. Anyone listening in the Discord chat on Wrestling Soup, anyone listening in the YouTube chat, I want to thank y'all, and thank y'all for helping us get those numbers up on the YouTube channel. Currently, we're at 178. The goal is to get to 200 and beyond. So yeah, people just sub to the channel. You get a different variety on the show. You not only get shows like this that I do with Jeff for these NXT shows, you also get the experience, which is every Wednesday, and it's at 8 p.m. now. We're at a new time per Justin's request, per my request as well. 8 p.m. Central Time. That's another wrestling. That's the show. That's the main show with me and Justin from Spinebuster Tees. You also get a show I do with RJ the Brooklyn Savage, which is called Friendly Neighborhood Marks, which that's more of an entertainment show mixed with wrestling. We talk about Marvel and DC and also a little bit of wrestling. And this coming Thursday, we will be going live, so look out for that show to happen. We usually go live in the morning, so be up, ready, aiming to go, people. There's also Culture Attack with me and Ruben, which we haven't done one of those in a while, but I will let you know when the next one happens. We're currently on, I wouldn't say hiatus, but we just need to make the show happen. We just need to get a show out. And then a new show I have for any of you sports heads. Basketball mainly. It's Jesus Christ, Metal Drive Hoops with me and my childhood friend Anthony, or Tony as I call him. We're gonna do a new show tomorrow, and it's gonna be live at 6 p.m. Central Time. So look for that to happen. And of course, the experience. If you want to listen to it on audio, that's on Spreaker, iTunes, and Spotify, as well as my other podcasts that I just mentioned. So. And then Twitter, X, DY Experience, Instagram, TikTok. So, anyways, that's enough about me. Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is probably the X at dose_evil. You can, of course, find me on the Wrestling Soup Discord. In terms of things I do for wrestling, other than this show with Drew, outside the network, I am on Marie Shadow's Squared Circle podcast about once a month when we review the MLW, they're PLE events, but they're YouTube specials basically. And we do plan to cover Fusion next year when it comes back to being weekly. So that should be fun. On the Wrestling Soup and Friendos feed, which is a separate feed, I don't think enough people realize that. It's not everywhere, but it's definitely on Spreaker, and I know it's at least one other place. But please subscribe to that. But me and White Chocolate, we do a dose of chocolate, and we talk about Evolve. Well, the show is dedicated to Evolve. Of course, there's some pre-oomph banter as well. When LFG is on, Lufisto and I do the Wrestling Stew LFG review show, and that's a lot of fun. We have also done one or two AAA WWE shows. I don't know if we're doing one December 20th or not, but I wouldn't rule it out. And there's some talks about some other things. I may be starting a TNA review show, but that'll probably be on the Wrestling Soup and Friendos feed, at least ultimately. And every now and then I do Body Slam Briefs, which is an intersection of law and wrestling. That's also on Wrestling Soup, but I haven't done one in a while. But if I do in the future, that'll probably also migrate to Wrestling Soup and Friendos. My other stuff, I do a show called The Garden of Thought. You'll generally get 3 shows a week, or at least 2 shows a week. 2 out of 3 of them are probably a little bit like Joe Rogan in terms of variety. Certainly not the celebrity or broness, and not utter abrasive conspiracy, but sometimes not so far. And then the third show is called The Gospel of Thomas. It used to be The Book of Black. And this week it's going to be The Book of Black again. Though before that you'll get A Gospel of Thomas because we recorded with Faye Jackson this past Monday. And I'll probably drop that this coming Monday. And this Wednesday night, PJ Black is back before he flies off to Vietnam for a week. And we're going to be talking to Isaiah Broner, who's a Haas. So we'll check that out. And I'm working on scheduling with Alexis Littlefoot, who's a well-regarded indie wrestler out of Kentucky as well, female wrestler, well, obviously. And I need to find the co-host for that because Thomas is out of pocket this month again, living his best Thomas life. And there's some other projects in the works, and some of them are wrestling related. And believe me, I'll babble on about those probably forever when we're there. So, yeah, that's it. I think
All right.
it's enough.
And it just came up on the YouTube channel, Brother BKL Sports Entertainment Show. Says shout out to everyone in the chat, including Drew Experience. Keep up the good work in the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from South Bronx, Brother BKL Contreras, aka Sports Entertainment Guy. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate I always appreciate kind words. I say that to everyone. Compliments mean the world. Whether it's good job, or just a pat on the back. So, compliments.
Did you see the celebrity just popped into our chat? Don Reynolds of the Don Reynolds White Chocolate channel to join his partner White Chocolate. Oh my goodness!
Hey, what's up, man?
Like Crocodile helps you here.
Oh man, but all right, peeps. We are done for the night. Jeff, thank you for the show. Thank you for making these shows happen and making them work the way they do. I appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, can't wait for the next PLE. And yeah, that's really about it, man. Thank you. Thank you for doing these shows with me.
Take them out, Chocolate. Take them out.
Get them. All right, peeps. We're done. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Metal Drive Hoops, and as well as Wednesday for the Experience. So, anyways, people, take care and peace out.
Hey, my friends.